Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans.
Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Oh, sorry for my tardy self this morning. Welcome into the Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Thank you guys so patiently for waiting. We'll get right to it here. Good morning to you, IndyCarTim. How are you, my friend?
Good morning to you, as Jerry would say.
Good morning to you. Yeah. Weird night last night for baseball, to be sure.
Weird night for hockey, too.
You know.
Holy moly.
But I kind of missed that whole part of the hockey. I've been tuned into baseball and doing some other stuff. So inform me.
Yeah, so the Minnesota Wild, turd buckets that they are, the douche canoes that they are.
Wow, that's
couldn't happen to a nicer team. Blows a 3-goal lead, blows a 3-goal lead, and then blows a 2-goal lead with less than 4 minutes to play in regulation.
Damn.
As the Avalanche eliminate the Wild. That's
a tough way to go. Ooh,
yeah, and it was on Colorado ice. Colorado was never in this game. Never in this game. 3:30, I think, left in the game. They get a lucky bounce on a shot from the point. Seeing eye goal.
We know it well here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, finds its way into the net 3-2. And then it's on. The crowd's back into it. Of course, the players are back into it. Minnesota had no chance. They tie the game before the buzzer, and then they win it in overtime on a complete defensive breakdown by the Minnesota Wild. It was freaking gorgeous.
Wow.
I loved it.
Wow. Yeah, you know, last night we were at the Sports Club of Tampa Bay Mixer at Cafe Santo Stefano, Richard Godsmart's incredible Italian restaurant, and in Ybor City. So we were all they were smoking cigars. I can't smoke cigars. Not my thing.
I can't either. No, I'm the same.
But I love smelling them. Yeah, I love the smell of a good, being around it. It's nice, but me and tobacco don't get along. My body does not like tobacco.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
From my mother smoking, growing up in a secondhand smoke home.
That was my dad.
Yeah.
My dad smoked in the house the whole time I was growing up.
It's weird because cigarette smoke, I'll just start sneezing. Cigar smoke, no, I'm good. Somebody out there tell me the difference. Probably the thousands of chemicals that go into cigarettes, tobacco that don't go. Because I think like cigars are more natural tobacco, I would think, much more natural and less chemicals, I would think, right?
Sure.
But anyway, so we were sitting around talking a lot of baseball, right? Talking a lot of stadium, talking some Lightning as well. And a few of us were reliving the Game 7 and it still freaking hurts. It still freaking hurts. And every time I turn on hockey, it's all I can think about. Lightning fans, are you going through the same thing? It's like when I turn on hockey, all I can think about is 9 shots. How the F do we lose a game giving up 9 shots? Like, that's not possible. But yet, here we are. And I ran into Ruslan Fedotenko at the event, the Cal Ripken the other night, and we commiserated as well. And I'm like, have you ever seen a game? You give up 9 shots and you lose? He goes, that was the wackiest game ever. But that's hockey. That is hockey. And if you don't play your ass off from puck drop 1, game 1, you leave it up to the hockey gods. And sometimes, they don't favor you. And that's what happens. So, ouch, Minnesota. Tough way to go out. But nothing we're not familiar with here in Tampa Bay. And it's, it's brutal. You get the whole offseason to think about that. 9 shots, Oof.
So here's one for you, JP. Along those lines, the Minnesota Wild are the first team in NHL history to have a 3+ goal lead at the first intermission of a playoff game, but then have fewer than 10 shots on goal the rest of the way and end up losing.
That hurts. That really. Well, we're also the first team to allow 9 shots and lose a playoff game. Let alone Game 7. Let alone a Game 7 on your home ice. I mean, that's just brutal, absolutely brutal. And you got the whole offseason to think about that. There you go. All right, so set up the show. We're gonna talk some Rays baseball last night. Ooh, speaking of bad losses. Ouch, babe. That one kind of hurt last night. But, when you got the best record in the American League and you're in first place, it soothes the hurt just a little bit.
Well, you're going to win some of those and you're going to lose some of those.
Exactly.
When you go late like that.
They can't win all of them in baseball. You're certainly not going to win all of them or in any sport. So we'll talk some Rays baseball. Dom Casciato, the head coach of our Tampa Bay Rowdies, is going to join us at 11 o'clock. And I'm chasing some other stuff that may happen late here. So pay attention. I have no idea where the show is going, Timmy. Got off to a rough start this morning. My morning got off to a rough start. I must say. So isn't that weird? Just how you start your day is so important. It kind of just sets the tone.
Yep.
I like to in the mornings, get a little bit of motivation, it's much easier when I'm home at my place. Sure. And, get some positive thoughts and some positive things going. It really sets up your day really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Today didn't start that way. So I'm kind of like chasing it. So here's good news. Michael Marino will be joining us. He is head of the West Shore Alliance, and he wrote a really, really good piece on the economics of the ballpark deal. So he's going to join us at 10:30, and then we'll talk to Dom Casciato at 11:45 with the Rowdies. So there's your lineup as we produce on the air, Timmy. Mm-hmm. So
okay, gotcha.
And they'll both be joining us via StreamYard. So we will see their handsome faces as well. Nice. So let's jump into the Rays last night. So, what sank the Rays last night?
Well, I know what I think sank the Rays last night.
My answer is way better than yours. I will bet you a beer.
Probably. Were there hookers in the
By the way,
stadium?
I'm sending you a case of High Life for your Les Habitants win.
Okay.
Yes. What's your reason?
I can put my reason on the screen. This is my reason right here.
And if you had a marker, you would go to BB.
Mm-hmm.
The column.
I would
column
circle
under
the
BB.
column. Yep. I would circle that column right there, and I would
walks.
circle the PC-ST under Jacks.
Yes.
5 innings pitched, 104 pitches in 5 innings.
No, it's 68 total pitches. 38.
Or 68. Right. Yeah. 68, but 4 walks. How many of those 4 walks?
None of them scored, but
none of them
you're
scored,
chasing it all game long.
But you're chasing.
Now you go to B. Baker and the 4 bases on balls in 2/3 of an inning and 11 strikes and 27 pitches. Yeah. But he told us what happened. He had bad balls.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's can be painful. He had bad balls syndrome.
We've all been there.
Slick bad balls too. When you get slick bad balls, it's hard to work with. It's really, really hard to work with. Is AI going to capture this as a clip, by the way, and send it out without any context whatsoever?
We just have to say clip that, and it'll clip it automatically.
Bad balls, slick balls. He said, wish I could tell you why I walked him. He says, one of those days is the best way I can put it. Nothing felt right. I felt like I was just getting some absolutely crazy baseballs that were slick. And then you get 15 seconds on the pitch clock, and you get sped up, and you're trying to find a grip, and you're trying to find the strike zone, and it gets tough. It's just one of those days where mistakes compound, and it was hard to get back in the zone. They took some really good at-bats. Baker said he couldn't. This is from the Times, by the way, Mark Topkins' article. So Baker said he couldn't tell why the balls were slick, mentioning the seams, the leather, the logo as possibilities, and said a few other Rays pitchers noticed it as well. It was significantly worse than 2 nights ago, he said. I don't know if they ran out and they didn't get those rubbed up with the mud in time or what the deal is, but definitely played a part. Just balls coming out really strange, missing really far to the right, a lot of which I don't typically do. I said I was probably off my mechanics and everything as well, so it was probably more than just a baseball, just one of those where you got to learn how to make an adjustment and get back in the zone, and that I think probably worked out better. So, so in case you don't know, before the game,
weird.
Yeah, the grounds crew gets, I don't know, 100 baseballs, 120 baseballs, I think. I don't know what it is, and a thing of mud. And they rub up every baseball with this special mud, and it kind of takes the slick out of the packaging film off the leather, and it allows them to grip the balls. And if you don't have mudded up balls, this stuff happens because the balls are just too slick. And if you can't get a grip on the ball, I mean, that's the most important thing. It's the most, because even just a little, obviously we're dealing with millimeters here when it comes to the strike zone. And when you can't get a grip on that and it doesn't move the way you want it to move, all hell breaks loose, as you see here. I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is really abnormal for the Rays. And now the first question I have, and probably many of you have, because if you listen to the show, we're all conspiracy freaks. Is this something that the Blue Jays were doing to the Rays? Like, because I think the umpires, once they get the balls, they're all in their chance. So I don't think there's even a way to manipulate one team getting slick balls and the other team not. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, you can't.
But even if you're looking at the Rays just trying to, mess them up, even though maybe you'll mess up your pitchers a little bit, maybe they're, the way the Rays pitch, the spin that they're getting is so much better than the others. And maybe that's a way to kind of slow this train down. Whatever it is, I don't know, but I think it's a thing. That this is not a bullpen that's been walking this many guys, and this obviously 2 nights before it was something as well. Very interesting to look into.
Yeah, but I
don't know if you know this, Timmy. Sorry, but
yeah,
teams have been known to cheat.
No,
baseball. Yeah.
Only the Red Sox and Astros have ever done that, JP, as far as we know.
Well, I think there's probably more. If we're being honest.
And by the way,
I think there's probably more. And the Rays might be in that category too.
I think the Blue Jays are very high on that list, to be honest with you, too, as far as cheating teams. But I still would contest, without those 4 walks, that I didn't get to watch the game, but I'm sure they weren't pretty walks.
No, they were missing by a lot. In fact, Baker, maybe you could say they left him in a little bit too long because he was missing by a bunch, and he hasn't been doing that. It's very out of the ordinary. So, it was just really weird.
Without those 4 walks, you probably don't get that late in the game, and you probably don't have to go to Brooks.
Well, right, exactly. You don't want to go to Mr. Mexican League here if you don't have to.
Right.
Just called 36-year-old, just called up Aaron Brooks. I mean, that's just not it's not where you want to put the situation you want to put him in. And they were trying not to as best they could. But when Baker just couldn't even find the zone at all, he really had no options left, or very few options left. And it just didn't work out as Varsho ends up hitting a grand slam. I mean, you get the 2 extra runs in extra innings. So you're sitting at 3-1. You feel like you got a good shot to win this game, but then you start walking people and it's all over. So, and then, credit Varsho that hit the grand slam. Yeah. Credit him for, that was a bomb. A little Oppo taco, but you're not going to win them all. You're not going to win them all. So you come back with a 4-2 divisional road trip. That's really good. You would have loved 5-1, obviously, and a 3-game lead over the Yankees, but that didn't happen. So, you lick your wounds, you come back home and start another streak where at the Tropicana Field where you've been freaking unbeatable. So that's good. No biggie, Hunter biggie. So you lose 1, not a big deal.
And the good news was the Yankees lost 2. So
the good news is the Yankees lose. It's like that. May he rest in peace. So let's get some baseball chatter in here real quick.
We got a couple of super chats here from Alex very early on. If you want me to.
Oh yes, let's go to that. Absolutely. Alex Nunn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says it's been hard to nitpick Cash, but moments you sat there and let a guy with a 6 ERA load the bases. I saw it a mile away. Good road trip though. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to nitpick, but you're right. And that's, I think we were all saying, can we go get that guy? He just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And, when you can see it plain and simple. Yeah. But I think he was probably trying to delay the Aaron Brooks decision as long as they could. Nobody want to see Aaron in there.
No, this was his second one too. Another fee. He threw us two $5 super chats, JP.
Let's throw the other one up there. And away we go.
That's it. That's up there now. That's the second one.
So Ray's got to learn to use the ABS challenge. They use it right. They easily win the game. Simpson taps his helmet, looks at the dugout, and then taps. Like, what? Yeah, there was another instance. Who was it? Palacios, who got struck out on a pitch out of the zone. And there was a bunch of pitches out of the zone. I agree, Alex. They were not as aggressive as they should have been with the ABS last night. I don't know what that was all about. There could have been, 5 or 6 of those that they could have overturned, judging from what the original strike zone was telling you. So you're right. I think they could have been better on that last night as well. but they were not.
And, in Major League Baseball tracks ABS usage by each team.
Right. How we doing?
I wonder if I can see. And they update it every day. Let's see where the ABS challenge leaders are.
Can you get an individual read on last night, how the Rays did last night?
I don't know if I could find that.
All right. While you do that, I'll do these comments. Alejandro, I should have talked to you first this morning. Alejandro, get some positive vibes going. Say, good morning, JP and Timmy. While the Rays did lose the game last night, I will say they fought hard and did their best. Overall, this division road trip was a success, winning both series. Let's go, Rays. He also says the Rays still have a 2-game lead over the Yankees, who lost yesterday as well, and we are in good shape. Divisional record 10-2. Rays have been great versus the division, and let's keep that up and keep adding. Absolutely. I am with you, brah. Another one from Alejandro said the road trip was successful, 4-2, Red Sox and Blue Jays, which is always good to win the series. Let's now win both series against the Orioles here at the Trop and Camden Yards. Go Rays. What do we got? The O's coming in this weekend?
I think so.
Let me check the schedule here in a second.
JP, I can tell you that the Tampa Bay Rays this season challenge success by a batter. They're at 44.8%. They have not had a pitcher's challenge yet this year.
They're not allowed.
Well, other teams have had them.
I think organizationally the Rays don't allow pitchers.
Oh, they won't let the pitcher challenge it.
No.
Your catcher challenge rate is at 53% for an average of 50.6%.
Okay, so we're a little above the mean. That's good. Yeah. Does it say how many we should have challenged and didn't?
I don't have that anywhere.
Yeah, I'd be interested to that because I thought last night they had an opportunity to challenge a bunch that could have changed the outcomes of the at-bat, and they did not. So I wonder what the philosophy is. I don't know that for a fact, but I know that they haven't allowed a pitcher to challenge, and you don't want a pitcher to challenge. They're too emotionally involved, and they have the worst angle, frankly. Yeah. It just they're falling off the mound. It's not good. The catcher has a much better angle. So if I were organizationally, I would have a rule on my team: pitchers can't challenge. Let the catcher handle that. You got enough on your plate. And I would say, as for batters, it's obviously heavily weighted towards the end of the game. If we're down to one challenge, you better be effing sure. That's the other one. And, just it has to have a heavy outcome in the at-bat. In other words, if it's his first pitch at bat, don't challenge it. If it's a strikeout or a walk, challenge it. I think that would be your best guide if you were going to have a philosophical read on this. But
the Rays have the Marlins coming to town, JP.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The Marlins, tomorrow. They have which they're facing some good pitching in that matchup as well. First two games I think are tough matchups. So this is the rivalry series, right? It's rivalry weekend.
Junk versus Sultans.
They're not.
Tomorrow.
Excuse me, Major League Baseball. They are not our rivals. No matter how hard you try to do this, the Sunshine State Series is never taken off. And
I can tell you this with in-state rivals: the Rangers and the Astros. When the Astros were still in the National League, they would force that interleague play on them, right? And it just nobody ever cared. Like Dallas as a city and as a metroplex, we don't give two craps about any teams from Houston, right? We just don't. They're not even on our radar. We just don't care. The Houston fan base, however, I think it begins with their hatred for the Cowboys and that they lost their NFL team before getting an expansion team. They have all the hatred. But the Astros-Rangers rivalry never took shape until the Astros were planted over here in the AL and they were in the same division.
Yeah.
For the first 4 or 5 years, the Rangers owned the Astros. And then the Astros started cheating and they got really good and they owned the Rangers. So
that's why you hate them. So, okay, I got you.
That natural rivalry developed, but Major League Baseball can't force those things on teams. It's kind of silly.
Now when realignment comes, it's going to be Braves, Rays, Marlins, Charlotte.
I hope they don't do that.
Will it be Braves, Orlando Rays?
Are they going to do away with the ALNL? They're just going to have one league, right? They're not going to have ALNL anymore.
I hope they don't, just for tradition's sake. Well,
I hope that too. But if you're going to do it, you might as well do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Baseball's a traditional sport. Let's keep something.
I mean, I still don't like that AL and NL teams play each other in the regular season.
I think that that needed to change though. It's just you wanted to see the superstar. It was weird that if you think about it, the great stars of the game, that stayed with one team their entire career, and you were in the other league and you never saw the guy. That would just be weird.
Well, there's these things called automobiles that you can drive if you want to go see a player that
you want
bad.
To see
you
him
go to
play
another game.
That's your team. Real quickly, what does want to do with this bull scrap? JS813 said the next time anyone needs an attorney, don't go to Morgan & Morgan. He's not for the people. He's for Orlando. The Rays should just move one of their minor league affiliates to Orlando. John Morgan's dream will come true, and the Rays can get their stadium in Tampa. Well, here's the problem with that, bro. Minor league baseball and spring training didn't work in Orlando, but it's definitely going to work if we bring a major league team here. We couldn't support our spring training. They had to leave. And by the way, there's so much misinformation out there about Orlando. The only true thing about Orlando is they have a lot of tourist tax money, and they spend it on the community's convention center and other stuff. None of that is that every time it's come up for a vote, they say, no, we're not doing baseball. That's number one. Number two, everybody's like, oh, yeah, the Mouse would love to have baseball there on. No, they won't. Disney was already in the baseball business. They didn't like it. They got out. Disney has no interest in bringing a baseball team to the wide world of sports. They do theme parks, in case you didn't know. And a baseball, even if they controlled it, they want no part of baseball. They are in the theme park business. So I don't know. I don't see that as a thing. That's what I've been told from people who work within Disney. They're not interested in baseball. They've been there, done that, not interested. So yeah, and again, Orlando is just actually the Orlando talk is probably good if you want to keep it here in baseball. And there may be some, there may be a reason that Patrick Zalewski is supposedly having lunch with John Morgan, maybe to create a little bit more urgency for the people at Tampa who are voting on this. That if you F it up, it's going to Orlando. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but if I were them, not a bad idea. And we dealt with the Morgan thing 3 days ago when it broke, and now it's a huge story, right? Go watch the interview. He doesn't even know Zalewski's last name, and he's going to tell you all this other pertinent information, like we don't have the votes. What about the Bucs and the Lightning? And I'm like, okay, I'll debunk this all right now if you like to. Bucs already have their money set aside. The Lightning money's already been approved, so that's not a factor in any of this. If you knew what was going on here, John Morgan, you would know that. But evidently you know that they don't have the votes. Well, actually, we're told that they do have the votes. So everything he said, including not remembering Patrick Zalewski's last name, the Dreamfinders guy, him. I mean, and yet all the media runs, John Morgan said this, it's all good. Did you watch the interview? The dude has no idea what he's talking about. But he thanks you for all the free publicity. So take the hook out of your mouth for just 2 seconds and figure it out. But anyway. All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back on the other side. And Michael Marino is the executive director of West Shore Alliance. You guys want to learn something about real numbers, about economic impact? This is the guy to talk to. This is the guy who understands it. And he's going to explain it all to you once again. And then if you're of the ilk of being opposed to this because of economic reasons, I would love to hear your reasons why, to refute Mr. Marino. So we'll do that when we come back. Hey, big thanks to the guys at pitchroofing.com. Hey, folks, if you're a homeowner, stay proactive, right? If the storms are going to come, they're going to come, right? Could be damage to your roof. So what happens then? Well, it's a great idea to call the folks at Pitch Roofing now while the weather's nice and before all the chaos, if something were to happen. Get to know them. Let them educate you about your roof and your insurance and everything. And they'll tell you how much life is left on your roof anyway, or if you need some maybe some repairs done right now. Great folks to talk to, really easy to talk to, no pressure, no sales tactics, just their goal is to educate you about your roof. And they feel like once they do that and you understand that and you meet them, you'll understand this is the group you want to work with. Then you'll have a priority if something does happen when everybody's scrambling for a roofer. You'll already know the folks that you want to deal with. It's pitchroofing.com. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out: $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch, and everything is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. As we roll on today, lots of great information coming your way in moments like this. Best sports bar in town is the Riveters right there, just north of 275, just south of the stadium, right next to that spaceship thing that Timmy loves to go to when he's in town. And it is the best sports bar food in town by far. Everything is fresh. The wings are fantastic. They make all their sauces fresh. So when you get that medium wings, you get 8 of them for $12 during happy hour. They're huge. It's a meal in and of itself, right? And then you get dip it in the blue cheese, because you got to go blue cheese with the medium sauce. It is chef's kiss. Fantastic. Try the hazy IPA they make right there on the grounds. And the staff is second to none at Riveters. Head on in there. You'll see what I mean. RivetersTampa.com. We love them over there. All right, let's welcome in from the West Shore Alliance, Michael Marino joining us here. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, JP. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time. I was reading through your bio here. You're a very accomplished man for your age. You seem very young. If I can read this.
Hair with the glare.
Yeah. He previously worked in public policy roles at United Way Suncoast, Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. We love that. Tampa Bay Partnership. Graduate of the University of Florida. Boo. Degrees in political science and telecommunications news. Then went to University of Miami. Boo. But we love you anyway. So if you can't tell, I'm a Knoll. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for the Rays is a Gator, so you might have to dial it down a notch.
Once we get past all that, we could all just be friends, right?
Exactly.
This is what happens when your football team goes into shitter for a few years. All right, this is you get bitter, and here we are. But congrats on your Hurricanes, doing real good. All right, so I wanted to get you on because there's so much misinformation out there about this stadium deal. And most of the objections obviously are about money. And as I continue to try to educate the public here, this is not spending money, especially where it comes to government, which they do that very poorly. In this case, it's an investment in something that should bring us a lot more economic activity and tax money. So from your seat where you are at West Shore Alliance, you deal with all the businesses there. Why is this such a good deal for the public?
There needs to be any form of infrastructure. There needs to be a level of public investment. And we as an organization, we're very big on transportation. Tampa doesn't exist unless you have a transportation network. And transportation, similar to a ballpark, requires some version of a public-private partnership.
Right.
And what the Rays have proposed is, we're going to pay for the majority of this ballpark. And the percentage has changed. It was 50-50 at one point. Now it's moved closer to a 60-40. But the Rays have said, we're going to pay for this ballpark. It's to the advantage of the community to have some public share of the ballpark. But in exchange, the Rays are going to develop the rest of that 120 acres into a mixed-use development. And so from our perspective in West Shore, that's not just a good idea, but that's necessary. West Shore as a district generates a lot of revenue for the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County. And West Shore as a whole has actually lost buildings to the expansion of 275. So there needs to be a replenishment in the West Shore district of some level of investment. And that obviously filters back to the rest of Tampa and Hillsborough County. So there is a legitimate concern. This is a lot of money.
I get it, yeah.
But we can't poo-poo every project in Tampa and Hillsborough County by saying, well, it's expensive. Well, everything's expensive. Yeah. Your kid breaks their arm. A cast is expensive. You break your teeth. That's expensive. You have to make some level of investment in order to progress as a community, whether it's, like I said, infrastructure, a ballpark, parks, roads, whatever. You have to make some level of investment in order to keep growing economically.
I agree wholeheartedly. And one of the things I said to the city commission over there is, as I listened to all the detractors, is like, we don't have money for this. We don't have money for this. So if they don't build this, will they have money for it? No, they currently don't have the money for it. And anyway, they need an investment vehicle to make more money, bring more visitors to the city, which brings in more money, because if it's like the Battery, 75% of the visitors that would come to this are from outside Hillsborough County. So to me, it's like, you can't afford not to do this, correct?
Correct. And that's one of the things we say in our letter. There's the cost of doing the project, but there's also the cost of doing nothing.
Yes.
And as I mentioned in my comments, going back, let's just say that last 50 years of professional sports, so the history of the Buccaneers, go back to those last 50 years. There's only been 2 Major League Baseball teams that have moved in that time period, Oakland and Montreal. And the reasons for those teams moving are unique, but then there's a perception of those communities after they lost the ball club.
Yeah.
If you want to go back even further, the Padres almost moved, the Mariners almost moved, the Royals got a team because the Athletics moved. So even these cities that had teams fought to keep them, those expansion teams of the 60s and 70s. So now we have this scenario here with the Rays where the perception economically of a community that says we can't afford it is very different than one that finds a way to do it. And the thing with having the project in West Shore versus other parts of the city is that the revenue generated here in West Shore is dispersed everywhere else. So this is your best opportunity for a one-to-one match. It's very rare that infrastructure has a one-to-one match.
Right.
The sidewalk in front of your house, the fire hydrant, the resurfacing of a road, all those public dollars, very rarely can you find the one-to-one private match. We do those things because it helps economic development, helps overall quality of life.
Right.
In this scenario, you're building a ballpark on what is currently untaxed land.
Right.
That development will generate not just generate property taxes, but also sales taxes, which is what Florida really relies on, is sales tax revenue. And then obviously the rest of that kind of block of the area around Drew Park, and then filtering down Dale Mabry. You mentioned Riveters as one of your partners.
Yes. That
stretch of Dale Mabry is in dire need of a level of improvement. I mean, across the street from Riveters is one of the few vacant parcels in West Shore at the old Sweet Tomatoes. If we want to have economic development, not just in West Shore, but other parts of the city, this is true, you have to help start to redevelop corridors.
Right.
And so that's why this goes beyond baseball. That's why a business organization like ours looks at this and says, this is economic development. This isn't keeping a baseball team.
Right.
But what I've also told people is there's 30 baseball teams in the world, 30 Major League Baseball teams in the world. We can't lose one of them.
Yeah.
And that part kind of goes beyond the dollars and cents of this. The dollars and cents of this absolutely matter. And we have to do the math of that as a community. But when there's 30 of these things, you can't lose one of them.
Michael Moreno joining us, Executive Director of West Shore Alliance. Hey, Michael, explain to none of the objections I always hear is, oh, I don't want to give money to billionaires. If it's such a good deal, why can't they do it on their own? And my retort to that is they could, but why would they? This is the way business is done, right? If I could go to Orlando and get $2 billion, which they probably could, they could go to Nashville and get $2 billion, which they probably, or any of those other places. Why would I stay in Tampa where they're going to give me nothing if these folks win that say, I don't want to give money to billionaires? My feeling is if I give a billionaire $1 and he gives me 3 or 4 back just in tax revenue, and then another 55 billion and 75 billion in economic return, I think that's a good deal. Is that fair to say?
Well, you mentioned, Orlando, they built the new arena for the Magic. The Magic are owned by the Amway family. They're billionaires. So I guess Orlando has done this in recent years. When you look at the Major League ballparks and NFL, because we're trying to use that comparison in terms of scale and size of a ballpark. Arenas are different. Arenas can host a lot of events. Many arenas are dual use, NBA and NHL, or college or what have you. But when you look at Major League ballparks, the vast majority of them, and I'm looking down at my own notes, like 90% are some version of a P3, public-private partnership, if not outright public.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium is owned by the city of New York. It's not owned by the Yankees. And that just goes to show you when you're building a large project, whether it's this or if Tampa is ever going to have some real mass transit system, you have to have public investment.
Yes.
To generate the return from private dollars.
Right.
And which is why I said at council, if we could be having this exact same conversation in terms of building a transit system.
Right.
Because there are people who say, well, we can't afford this. It's like, yeah, but we also can't afford gridlock.
Right.
And in this scenario, we can't afford the notion of Tampa being bad for business, Tampa Bay being not a place where you can make investments, Tampa Bay being a place where when offered, a private investment on this scale, you say, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And that's really what this comes down to, is that, yes, it is a lot of money, and there's probably going to be some give or take, and there's still details to be worked out. But what the Rays have proposed for what the public sector, what they're asking the public sector to redevelop that whole property and obviously build a stadium, is a return that we haven't really ever considered.
Right.
But that formula, taking sort of underutilized land, untaxed land, is the best scenario to get a return on investment for those public dollars.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get that confused, and I keep telling them that's why this spot is so perfect, because nobody in 23 years of having a CRA in Drew Park, nobody's developed it, because you would need some type of anchor tenant, like, I don't know, a baseball team that would bring 81 dates and probably another 60 to 71 dates of concerts and other tournaments and other things that could happen in there, WrestleMania, a lot of other things. It'd be a unique seating size for climate control in this area, because, our local arena benchmark is only 19,000. This would be probably 35,000 you could fit in for concerts and things like that, climate control, which of course Raymond James is not. So it's a different type of thing, and it would bring in 10 million visitors. And you mentioned transportation. I had Bob Buckhorn in here, and we've also heard that Michael Stevens from the airport is talking about light rail now because of what would become a stadium complex, right? Mm-hmm. And now instead of maybe 15 weekends or 20 dates a year at Raymond James, you're talking about, like I said, 250 dates total, where a mass amount of people would be filling this area. Obviously, you can't build enough roads for that. So they're like, well, yeah, this is going to spur light rail where we can get federal dollars, more state dollars. I know they've already knocked down some hotels thinking that there may be stations there, right? So if this gets approved, could we then say, finally, light rail from Brightline stop in which will eventually be the Brightline stop at downtown, up through downtown, down kind of 275 area, through the sports complex to our incredible airport, and then into West Shore? Is that something that could this spur that to get the federal dollars to get that done?
Yeah. So right now, actually, there is a federal study ongoing for the entire Tampa Bay region called the Regional Infrastructure Accelerator Grant. And part of that grant is to analyze the real estate, I'm generalizing, but essentially the real estate of the Tampa Bay community and how transportation connects these things. So if you are on 275 today, right now, you're driving to your job, you're driving to whatever you got going on. If you look at the median at 275 between West Shore and downtown, it's empty.
Yep.
Part of that will be filled in with express lanes, but the middle will stay empty for potential transit system. And so there's diversion of rail. There's an extension of the people mover at the airport, so it's a little bit cheaper and can go just as fast and has the same number of can still do the same number of stops. But all that's being done while there's also a change to the land use in the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County. So those two things combine. Well, now you have this race site that can leverage those things all together. So there's sort of an efficiency in planning.
Yes.
And that's what Michael Stevens and former Mayor Buckhorn and we have talked about. And that's also what some of the city council members talked about. If you notice, they asked about transit.
Yep.
Because the thing is with baseball, it's an everyday game.
Yeah.
There's a reason why so many baseball stadiums, it's like 25 out of 30 baseball stadiums, have some version of rail access.
Yes.
Because you have season tickets. Are you really going to park your car there 81 nights a year?
It's a lot.
Maybe, maybe not. But having access to transit, having access to walkability, that will encourage you. So you can go to a place like Riveters, park your car there, and walk over the ball game, just like we saw last year when the team was at Steinbrenner.
Yeah, which I did multiple times. Michael, just in closing here, You did say that the cost of doing nothing is a real cost, and I want you to kind of dig in a little bit on that. I've made the emotional plea, and even Cal Ripken was in town the other night, and I asked him about it. He remembered when the Colts left Baltimore. It just, like you said, ripped the soul out of the city, and I can see something very similar here to the Rays. And as I told the city council, you want your vote to be the one that sends the Rays to Orlando. I mean, talk about ending your political career. Just, from that standpoint, talk about the loss of this team economically and for quality of life reasons.
Well, I think, and I'll take the last point about the kind of the politics of it. There's obviously very legitimate reasons to be opposed to this. There are just some people who philosophically say we should not give, there should not be public investment in private business. Whether it's tax cuts, cash incentives, things like that. So that's a legitimate concern. And there'll be some elected officials who that's the path they choose, and that's what they say, and that is legitimate. But on the other side of that coin is that for that investment that you don't make, that sends a message to everybody else. Mm-hmm. And one example on the transportation side of things. Back in the mid-'90s, when we built Raymond James Stadium, another idea was to have a light rail system in Tampa, and Tampa actually got federal funding. Tampa turned it down. Charlotte got the money and built their light rail system. And it happens all the time where you turn down a project and someone else gets it. It's true. Jabil built a facility in North Carolina instead of expanding in Pinellas County. And North Carolina offered incentives for that. Texas offers a lot of economic incentives. And that's what this boils down to, is that a baseball team, a football team, a hockey team, basketball team, these are community assets, just like very large businesses. And, we're not a factory town. This isn't Johnston, Pennsylvania. Like this isn't Slapshot. Like the mill closing down is going to lose the hockey team. Okay.
That's right.
So I don't want to necessarily portray that, but Seattle has been trying to get a basketball team since the day the Thunder left.
Yep.
Montreal has been trying to get a baseball team since the day the Expos left. This leaves a permanent black eye in the community. And just like you alluded to with Baltimore, I mean, the Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls.
That's right.
And there are people in Baltimore who still wear blue Giant Unitas jerseys.
Yeah.
And that's the part that never goes away. And I own a Montreal Expos shirt, a Quebec Nordique shirt, a Hartford Whalers shirt. Like those logos never die.
Yep.
But what does die eventually is the feeling of those communities, of those sports, and the economics that those sports generate, and the quality of life that they inspire.
Michael, we could say it together. We can't afford it. We can't afford not to do it. And people that need to understand that investment, public-private investment, happens all the time, especially when you build $2 billion stadiums. There has to be a partnership in some way. And this, to me, looks like a pretty good one. So let's hopefully get it done. Michael, thank you so much. Is there a place people can go to get more of your writings and wisdom?
Sure. Go to choosewestshore.com. That's our website. Actually, next month we'll be talking about transit. So, hopefully nice. We have a baseball team and a real transit system in this region. We have we need to get over the Pinellas County, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
The Pinellas County hotels after the storm have not done so well. And we've benefited from that in West Shore, but we should be benefiting from economics because of good things, not bad things.
That's right.
And so connecting the region obviously helps the ball club, but it also helps, economically as well with our transportation and housing costs. So transportation is the next thing after we've solved baseball.
Listen, and baseball can help solve it. That's
exactly
the point.
Right.
They get to your point. How these planners think, and they'd say, "Oh, you got that now? That makes more sense for us to build light rail through there." And
100%.
I mean, the fact that we are not connected in Pinellas County to Hillsborough with light rail is just, it's archaic. It really is. It's archaic.
If you drive the new Howard Franklin Bridge, that actually designed for a version of a rail system on the express lanes. So we've planned for it and we're prepared for it, but it's about having the civic will to pay for these projects.
Absolutely. And if we don't spend it on this, we're going to waste it on something else. That's for damn sure.
Or it never happens.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot
Michael,
of projects passed by the wayside.
Yeah, and then your private businessmen who want to spend $10 billion in your city go to another city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that's positive, well, at least we didn't give them the money. Well, guess what? They got to get richer anyway. So why shouldn't we benefit from their investment? It blows my mind when people say this. It's just like, how narrow-minded are you? Like I get the whole class warfare thing. I understand it. There's a wealth gap here, and I hate it too. But you want to try to close it, do smart things. And this is a smart thing to do.
This is part about being a major region, a major community. You've got to step up and make these investments. And, I think in Tampa, sometimes we kind of poo-poo the Rust Belt cities. Yeah. But you go to downtown Detroit, all the arenas are right there next to each other. You go to Cleveland, all the arenas are right there next to each other. Pittsburgh, it's a beautiful setting, all the arenas, all of them being right there next to each other. Yeah. And it's kind of like there's, what do we want to be when we grow up? These are the things that a community asks of itself. Do we want to make these investments? Yeah. And the ones that have said no, you kind of know those places. Like I mentioned, Oakland off the top. Yep. And the ones that say yes, you definitely know those places. Well,
and everybody's trying to do what we have given to us right here. So we ought to figure it out. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thanks, JP.
Go Noles.
Wow, I had to sneak that in there, didn't you?
Right at the end there, yeah. Don't allow a response.
No, I cut him off.
Well done.
Wow.
I know, I can't take it anymore. God, my good friend Michael Murphy, who posted the other day, who was it that? Oh, Navy had 2 players drafted in the NFL draft. Florida State had 1. Thank you for that, Mike. Appreciate that. In case we didn't know we were bad, we're bad.
Navy had more players drafted into the NFL than Florida State last year. Wow,
that is true. Your thoughts on what you just heard, Timmy?
All good. Like, if positive, very positive. The fact that there's people who see the vision, people in high places that see the vision.
Again, you see the people that are against this. They're not movers and shakers and builders.
Right. The people that are against it are people that are just against things for the sake of being against things.
A lot, yeah. Yeah. And I do think there is a bit of a situation going on that, we're tired of more traffic. We're tired of, people moving here and things are getting more expensive. And it's like, I got news for you. That ain't changing.
Yeah, that ain't going away.
It ain't going away. Like, people are going to keep moving here, and you want to put a fence around Tampa and make you keep it this wonderful little town that you can drive to the store in 5 minutes instead of 10. Yeah. It's not happening. It's not happening. Those days are over. So you better embrace it and do it.
Go move to Port Charlotte if that's what you want.
Yeah. If you wow, that's different. Nobody's moving to Port Charlotte.
I know. I've been there.
Unless you want to sell meth. Yeah. So if you invest in things like this, then we can get light rail, federal funding for things like that can ease these traffic concerns. One of the reasons we have traffic is we haven't invested in transportation.
Yeah.
So because people have said no, we don't want that. This is what you get. So if you smartly invest, and which will bring more visitors, we're a tourist economy. Right. So if you're building things that bring more people from outside and they bring their money, that money then stays here and gets reinvested into the community to pay our waitresses, restaurant staff, hotel staff, all these. That's what we do. 45 million visitors a year come to Tampa Bay. So I know Orlando gets 70, but it's not like nobody's coming here.
Yeah.
So build more things to compete with them. They have theme parks. We have sports teams. Cool. That sounds right, but
just share everything. Everybody can share everything. It's fine.
Yeah, we're good. They have the MLS and the NBA, which you can have that. We can have hockey and football and baseball. I'm very pleased with that arrangement with Orlando or Tam Orlando, whatever you want to call it. Orlando, Tam Orlando.
It's terrible.
Whatever you want to call it, we can do that. Chris Cole's like, this guy knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. We have schedule leaks. We have schedule leaks all over the place. We need to talk about.
Yeah, coming out tonight, by the way, for reals.
JLR says we had bold leaders in the late 60s and early 70s who had stones to approve TIA, which is our airport for those who don't know, Tampa Stadium, and got behind bringing the Rowdies and the Buccaneers. Think about what it would be without them. Yeah. And every time we did a stadium, he was like, oh, it's too much money. And then look at the benefits we've reaped. I think we built benchmark for $86 million.
Wow.
Back in
With that opening
90s.
96? 97, something
back
like that.
in the 90s. Yeah. So it always, and I think that's another thing that's kind of freaked people out is the price tag on the stadium. And it's because, it's everything's doubled in 5 years in case you haven't noticed. And that includes the cost of stadiums and construction. So if we were asking for $500 million, would it be easier? Yes, absolutely. But guess what? Our taxes have increased because of inflation. Sales tax, you get more sales tax because of inflation, because the $30 checks are now $60. So everything has gone up. You're collecting more, so it's going to cost more. You're going to pay more. It's kind of, everything's kind of relative.
Yeah.
Buck in 2020 says, I've said it many times, I'm not against it, but I would like a bone to be thrown my way if I'm a taxpayer. Give me a small discount on tickets or merch or being in a tax-paying zip code. I think this is a great idea. And there are, part of it is because you can become a season ticket holder, and you don't have to buy a huge season ticket holder, but this is how you get your discounts locally. All right. Because the people coming from outside obviously aren't going to be season ticket holders. Yankee fans who go to a few teams, they're not season ticket holders. Look at all the benefits you get from being a season ticket holder. You get, like for the Lightning, 35% off merchandise and everything in the building. That's a significant discount for being a season ticket holder. That's what so it's not going to go by zip code because people can fake that anyway, right? So become a season ticket holder. Partial season ticket holder, you still get great membership benefits. So that's how you would get that. And you could go to, commit to 20 games a year. That's not a whole lot. It's a good package, really. And everybody likes a good package. And then you get those discounts at merch and everything else. So that's a way to do it. And you are getting a lot back. Again, for those who say, what do we get back? They're getting all the revenue. No, they're not. They're not getting all the revenue. They're getting a lot of it. But excise tax on the bills, ad valorem taxes on the property, over $3 billion to $6 billion. I think that's a return. That's not nothing. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side and want to get into a little bit of Bucs stuff. We got some Jason Light for you. We'll do a little lightning as well, talk a little hockey with Timmy. And also coming up at 11:45, we have the head coach of the Rowdies going to be joining us as well. So quick break, back in 3 with more of the JP Peterson Show. Stay with us. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on Fanstream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Hope you enjoyed that interview right there. And we got some clarification on some of the economics because trying to inform the public, trying to get through to some of you folks. And you know what? We've changed minds. I've had a lot of messages about, at first I was against this, and then I heard this, and I heard this on your show and this other stuff, and now I'm very much for it. That's great.
You're a very persuasive individual, JP.
well, listen, when we have great people on, and listen, I didn't, walk out of bed with this knowledge. I read about it and I talk to really smart people, and we get them on the show and they inform us. What are you, some kind of economics professor now? No, but I do read and I do research, and you can become knowledgeable on facts if you do so. So perhaps you should try it.
Professor Peterson.
The great things I love. Oh, now you're an economics professor, huh? You know all about.
Those are people who don't like to learn.
Exactly. You know who I love? I love people at the Golden Diamond Source, Julie and Steve Weintraub. They're great folks. Happy 20th anniversary, by the way. I love them because they run a great local business. They're always doing things in the community. They give back, right? They run a business. You have to spend your money. You go spend it locally. You keep it here. That helps them employ dozens and dozens of people there. They run a great business, and then they give the money back to the community. We talk about them. They advertise. It's a great full circle. We love doing it. We love being a part of it. So you got to spend your money on gifts anyway, right? We got graduations coming up. We got birthdays, holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all those things, they come up, right? You got to spend it. So instead of giving it to Amazon, right, Mr. Bezos, you'll give it to the Golden Diamond Source. You get great prices there, by the way. You actually can feel it, touch it, see it before you get it, and you're disappointed, and it comes in the mail, and then you got to return it. You don't need to do all that. Keep it local. Keep it with the great folks. It's the folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. We're always championing these local businesses because that's how it works. That's how it works. They support us, and then you go support them.
JP, if we stop giving Jeff Bezos money at Amazon.com, then he can't buy the Bucs.
And build a whole new covered stadium, right?
And he can't build a stadium.
True. All right. Well, just Just buy your toilet paper there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. That's fair.
Bucket 2020 says Aaron Brooks needs to go back to the Mexico baseball.
Poor Aaron
You imagine-
Brooks.
You know, he's like fishing for the jalapenos, you know, one week, and next week he's in front of 41,000 screaming Canadians in Toronto with the game on the line. It's like, how the hell did I get here? What the hell just happened? And then he gets walked off with a grand slam. He's like, well, it was really fun being in the big leagues for a couple of days.
I don't know. I think it's very questionable
Going back
by
to the jalapenos of Monterey.
I still think it's very questionable by the Rays front office to go out and get a former washed-up New Orleans Saints quarterback to come pitch for him. That was really weird.
And once threw 4 interceptions in a game to one of his good friends, Rondé Barber.
Yeah.
I was there for that. And where was that game played?
Oh, I don't know.
Where were we? We were in
Was it not at
No, it was when the Superdome was being Superdome was
for
going
Katrina?
For Katrina. They were playing at was it Hattiesburg? No. Somewhere in Mississippi. Where were they playing? Where did they go to? I forget. Maybe it was Shreveport. Was it Shreveport? Where they played the Independence Bowl? Look that
No,
up.
it was in wasn't it in San Antonio?
What? No, it was an outdoor stadium. Where the hell was I? Where the hell was I? This had to be what you got to look that up now because we actually went to that game there. Where was it? Was it Jackson, Mississippi?
The Alamo Dome, Tiger Stadium, and Giant Stadium. So it had to be Tiger Stadium. Yeah.
Was it LA? Was it at Baton Rouge?
Yeah,
maybe it was.
The only outdoor stadium that they.
Yeah, that's where it was. That's where it was. God, I can't remember where I went. That's crazy.
It's not shocking.
Jeez, yeah, right. At this point, oh Jesus. Michael LaRue says, "Why can't the Rays find a pitcher in their own system who's better than a guy they pulled from the Mexican League?" Yeah, you would think, right? You had guys that have been in your system for a long time. You got to go get some 36-year-old from the Mexican League. That seems weird.
I wonder what Aaron Brooks' WAR was last season. Was it better than 1.2, like our buddy?
I don't know, but tells some great stories of some of those other leagues, the Dominican League.
Oh, I can imagine. I bet those, yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen. Did you see the X post from Dan Cilio last night in reference to how much Zalupski lost in net wealth? To be honest, I love Cilio. Why? But you're a Hurricane. That's right. But he's off on this one. He's off on a lot, bro. And by the way, getting into the Sports Club of Tampa Bay Hall of Fame. That's not. Now, listen, this is an old story. This is an old story. And yes, his stock in his company has gone down. Not sure you guys are aware of this, but that's not where everyone leaves their personal wealth. And when they purchased the team, he would have had to sell that stock when it was at 30 or whatever, sell some of his stock to purchase the team. So, and if by chance Mr. Zalupski is running out of money, they could, if Major League Baseball is so inclined, they could change who the managing partner is. Not saying that they would do that, but they can. But the bottom line is this group, it's a group of owners. And there's, I think, at least 3 billionaires within the group. So if there's more money that is needed, that's not a problem. And it's the way these things happen all the time. Oh, they don't have any money. Well, they can get more. The franchise. The Padres just sold for 3.5. The Braves the Rays are worth every bit of 1.7 billion. The expansion fee is going to be 2.5, which is going to raise the worth of all teams. So yeah, these guys
so insane.
Like, oh, we got to go check the piggy bank here, and oh, did we spend too much on the team? Oh, I totally forgot we had to buy a stadium. Oh, damn, why didn't I think of that? Anybody in this group that has any money or knows anybody who can go get some? I don't know. Fred, you know anybody over there?
Just spend all of our money?
Do you have any friends that are rich? Being the chairman of Augusta National, you got anybody? Do you have a list over there? You and Mr. Doyle, do you know anybody that might have some money laying around? The couch cushions? Anyone? Yeah. I think.
God, people are dumb.
The PGA is on, by the way. Do we have an update?
Oh, I can find one. By the way, I saw
Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania.
It was Adirondack Chair Country Club.
It's not Adirondack. Aronimink. I think that's
Adirondack. It's in Philadelphia. I
Scheffler
don't
bats
give two
Matty
craps.
Fitz, and Justin Rose will tee off at 2:05. We get to home. I love the majors. You get to go home on a Thursday and Friday and watch afternoon golf. Love that.
Steven Yeager in the lead through 11.
Yeager. Oh, Timmy's Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Bud Cauley. You always have some no names at the top. Not that Steven Yeager's a no name. Early on in the
Pot
PGA.
Guider.
Pot Guider. Schauffele Xander's at 3 under through 7. Wow. Nikolai Hogard, Cam Smith, 2 under through 10. Jordan Spieth, 1 under through 7. And the great
Jordan Spieth might not ever win another tournament again.
You think?
Yeah. He cares about his family too much.
Yeah, that'll derail you every time. This effing kids, man.
Get rid of the family, you'll start winning again. Happens every time.
Yeah.
For more family advice, come see me. By the way, JP, on From the Rough on Wednesdays, Johnny gives his rundown, as he does here on the show. He didn't get to do it yesterday because we had such a strong show without him. But we also do my Wheel of Misfortune picks, which that is basically when I go into the tournament, I pick 7 names, and I put them on our wheel in the studio. 7 names. Well, actually, it's 6 plus Max Homa, because Max Homa is my guy, and he's always on my wheel. So I picked the 7 names that go on the wheel, and then Johnny, I will spin the wheel. Before I spin the wheel, though, Johnny will pick what place the selected player will be in my bets. So, for instance, I have all 7 names. I haven't spun the wheel. Johnny says, okay, this spin is your top 20. Then I'll spin the name. And then whatever name it falls on,
right,
that's my top 20 and so forth. And then, of course, it'll be winner or top 10. So the way it came out, the 7 names I had were Kurt Kitayama, Nikolai Højgaard, J.J. Spawn, Patrick Reed, Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, and Stuart Sink. Love me some Stuart Sink, by the way. Red hot over on that Champions.
Wow.
Red hot over on that Champions Tour. The way my board came out, my winner at 350 to 1, Stuart Sink, the way the spins came out. Nikolai Højgaard, top 10 at plus 475, and then Patrick Reed, top 20 at plus 210.
Imagine Stuart Sink, the most unpopular Open Championship winner of all time, who stole it from the great Tom Watson at 59 years old.
I know.
Jerk.
I love Stuart Sink, though.
He felt bad about winning that day. We all
He should.
Yeah.
Tom Watson's a legend.
God. And if not for a bad bounce.
Yeah.
It's a perfect 8-iron on 18 that should have cozied up right next to the hole. It hits a knob, it jolts it forward over the green, and he can't get it up and down for the dub.
Nope. That's kind of his fault. He should be a better golfer.
The lay of the land.
What have you ever done, Tom Watson? What have you ever done?
Right. One of the great champions and nicest guys you'll ever meet in your freaking life.
Absolutely.
All right, so you guys can't wait till tonight. Danny Boy says the game in Chicago on November 8th will be Sunday Night Football. That one is true because our Eileen over at Channel 8, who's NBC, probably got their inside schedule already for Sunday Night Football. And Bears or Bucs at Bears. I think I'm going to that game. Me and Cullen will be going to that game. Yes.
Where are they going to play? Are they going to play at Soldier Field, or is it going to be torn down by then?
No, I think they'll
have to find a high school stadium to play in somewhere.
Did that go through yet? Are they building it in Indiana?
I don't know, but that atrocity needs to be just bulldozed immediately. That's one of the ugliest,
Soldier Field?
most atrocious pieces of architecture. They ruined it, man. It was such a landmark.
Yeah, kind of did.
It's gross looking.
Well, they tried to not knock the whole thing down, right?
Well, they should have. Just knocked the whole thing down and built a better stadium.
Yeah. When I heard D. Wayne say Brooks was 36 and just came from the Mexican League in Caliente whatevers, I was like, oh, shit. He had nerves. Yeah, he did. I mean,
the Caliente Bananas Fosters.
Yeah. He thought maybe since the baseballs were so slick that he would be more used to them because coming from the Mexican League. I don't know why I said that, but maybe they don't have the as good of balls in Mexico as we have it here. They don't rub them up. They don't rub up the balls like we do here. Wow, I'm getting in trouble on this.
Yeah, you are.
Pewter Report is reporting the Steelers game will be October 18th at RGS, not in December. So can we just wait? Can we just wait till it all comes out until you have a definitive schedule? please.
By the way, his team in Mexico was the Caliente de Durango.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Bet they got a cool logo, though. The Caliente de Durango?
Yeah.
So is that warm Cowboys? No, that's a Caballero. What's a Durango? Durango is like a, I don't know. Where's
they do have a cool logo. Let's throw this up there for you because
as Thomas Casper says, Disney does not want its guests out of the park. See Orlando Magic. Yeah, they're not for baseball at all. In fact, they're very much against it. Danny Boy says Orlando's like Tampa Bay in the late 80s to early mid 90s, bargaining chip to get the deal done back home for existing teams. Oh, that is a sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Caliente de Durango, Club de Baseball. And that's like a thoroughbred horse, right? Yeah. That's a horse head at the top of the, right? Yeah, that's cool. Very nice. Yeah, I'd buy a hat with that on it. 100%.
That's kind of sweet. I might have to look for one of those, even though I hate Mexico.
Sinzo says John Morgan is too stoned to know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, it is funny. It's just because of who he is and a big name that everybody just automatically assumes that he knows what he's talking about. And when 3 minutes of his interview that he did with Greg Warmoth, our friend in Orlando, was like showed most everything he said was wrong. Well, I mean, but yet we're going to do huge stories on it. And is there a time when the media just like looks at what somebody's saying and said, no, he really doesn't know what he's talking about. Why should we really do a story on this? Oh, but no, John Morgan, it's the Rays, it's Orlando, clickbait. Oh, okay, that's right. That's what we got to do. I get it. Oilers fire their coach, says Buckin 220. McDavid to Tampa soon.
Knobloch is gone.
I mean,
who would thought Chuck Knobloch could coach hockey anyway? Like that,
right? Exactly. Couldn't even throw to first base for God's sake.
No, he got the yips.
Listen. Again, I was talking to somebody last night and said, "Well, if they're going to trade Connor McDavid, the dude clearly wants out after his tirade after the season. I'm not sure his teammates want him to play there. That was almost like get me out of here speech." Like, I don't even care. I'm going to go scorched earth. Get me the hell out of here. And all the great things he said about Tampa Bay. Like name the hockey players that you could actually trade Connor McDavid for and get back that would, in some way, please the fan base. There's probably about 5, and 4 of them aren't even available. Yeah, right?
I mean, yeah, that's not going to happen.
But if you were, you'd have to get someone like Kucherov back. You would have to. And I'm not sure about what his no move clause is, but are there Lightning fans out there that would be okay with that?
I can't imagine.
What, trading Kucherov for Connor McDavid?
Well, it wouldn't happen straight up. There's no way that trade happened straight up. There's absolutely zero way that trade happened straight up.
I mean, what else you want?
About 5 other good players.
Who would you consider?
Vasilevsky?
No Vasilevsky.
You going to trade Vasilevsky? Would you trade Vasilevsky for Connor McDavid straight up?
No, because I don't think we have an answer, a goal right now behind him. Maybe in a couple of years we've drafted a few good players, but no.
I mean, that's the kind of deal it's going to take if you want to trade for Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what Edmonton's going to want in return. That they're going to want the house.
But I think there would be a Kucherov point deal. Would you do that after last season? Probably, yeah. Thomas Casper says it's not 130 acres. It's potentially 850 acres. That's true. Because the Drew Park area, the CRA, that whole entire area, if you look at the map, is a blighted area. And if you build this monstrosity and all the money, $8 to $10 billion in there, it's going to affect all that other real estate as well. Because that real estate's going to go through the roof. Chris Cole says some of the casual fans and reporters don't even know how the city's development process works and have no business writing or commenting about it. I've see this all the time. And then you look, and it's some of these reporters they look like they're like 15 years old. I know I'm old, but I mean, do these people even know? I mean, like I said the other day, the first sentence out of the guy's mouth was, the Rays are going to play 50% and the city's going to pay 50%. That was 3 months ago, bro. And now it's closer to 60-40. So get your facts straight. Like, that's the most elemental fact of the deal. And you don't even have that right off the top. And this is important stuff. You can't just throw shit out there. And I see it every day. David Terry says the people that are against this new stadium are the type of people who would step over $1 to pick up a dime.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is.
Probably accurate.
Alejandro says, to quote a famous movie, yes, the past can hurt, but the way I look at it, you can run from it or learn from it. Rafiki. Oh, that famous philosopher. Rafiki.
What the hell is a Rafiki?
Yeah, Plato, Socrates, and Rafiki.
Never heard of the Rafiki, whatever that is.
From the Lion King?
No.
Rafiki. The old
nothing.
Wisdom of Rafiki. He was the village wisdom.
Meh.
Never seen it. Never seen Lion King?
Hell
or
no.
Lion King 2? Or whatever they call it? Great movies. You're missing out on that.
I was too busy watching Legally Blonde.
You got another good one, though. Very good. Very good. What else we got here? Said nothing yet, JP. The Bears are going through the same crap that the Rays are as far as public funding of the stadium. Yeah. I get it. Alex Nunn says, I'd be okay with it. No offense, but what has Cooch done in the playoffs when it matters most? Not much lately.
Good point.
Not much lately. Yeah, you're actually in the movie. You are Pumbaa.
Am I a
so
Pumbaa?
Now you got to go watch it. Yeah, you're Pumbaa.
What's a Pumbaa? Is that
Go
a bad
watch it.
guy?
No, just go watch it. But that's
By
you.
the way, Rafiki sounds like a modern day rapist. That's all I'm thinking when I hear Rafiki.
I'll take the rapist for 1,000, Alex. That's therapist.
So will your mother.
You goon. Time will pass the Rays by if they don't do this deal. They never end up paying schools, fixing roads, etc. with those buildings. Build the damn park. Yeah. And how weird would it be if they cut a deal with Orlando and then they got to play in the Trop for 3 more years. So you talk about attendance going down. Holy
Yeah, how many people are going to go? Just ask Oakland. Ask Oakland how that worked out when they announced
nobody there. Oh, yeah. It'd be like, get the F out of here. Go play at Disney. Yeah. No bueno. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do a little Bucs, and then we'll do a little Rowdies as well. So stay with us. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Folks, listen, if you do not have your homeowner's insurance, your flood insurance, your business insurance, everything tidied up, it can really, really cost you. So have them shop it around. Maybe they'll save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. They've done that for me many, many, many times as we flip homeowners places. There's always companies coming in asking, doing a little bit of a discount so you can jump in with them, save a few $100, and they make sure that you're with a good company. So if something does happen, they will pay off. That's one of the things they do at Italiano Insurance. So they know all the rules. They know all the good companies. They know all the tricks into the trade. So let them do the work. You save all the money. 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here's we roll on, brought to you by the great folks at MOR TV. They're your home for Rays free baseball coming up. They've got a 10-game slate. I believe the next one is coming up on the 24th. So if you want to watch some Rays baseball, we'll keep you posted. But a great station here locally, been here for a very long time. Did Magic games this year, doing Rays games and getting more and more into local sports. Hopefully expanding their Rays offerings for next year as well. By the way, the Rays are doing great on television when they're on MOR. Sales are tremendous in terms of them doing the local sales for those games, getting great ratings on MLB. So big fan base here. MOR TV is your spot for some of their home games. So check it out. We'll keep you posted. The next one coming up on the 24th, I believe. All right, back to some of our great commenters. Michael LaRue is in this morning, said McDavid has a lot of leverage. He only has 2 years left on his contract. So I would trade Cooch for McDavid in a second. Yeah, they fired Knobloch. I don't know if that's good or bad in terms of if he's staying or going. He had 3 years left on his deal.
That thing might have more problems than Knobloch.
Yeah. Said Knobloch had signed a 3-year extension in October and it had yet to officially kick in. Wow. Sources told ESPN that the Oilers would like to interview Bruce Cassidy, but they still need to work on permission through the Vegas Golden Knights since Cassidy is still being paid by them after his late season firing. It's like there's a guy that Chris Knobloch, who takes the Oilers to 2 straight finals, comes within a hair of winning the Stanley Cup, and now he's out. Wow. Before his extension even kicks in?
You talk about the shelf life of NFL coaches being short.
Well, NHL, man, it's like changing your drawers.
Well, I mean, the Stars fired Pete DeBoer after 3 straight conference finals appearances.
And then these guys just go to another team like Tortorella, and they're doing great.
Yeah.
How about that in Vegas? What he was able to do there. Yeah, and poor goaltending and leaky defense were among the structural issues that plagued Edmonton. McDavid had raised concerns after the Oilers were limited by the Ducks in 6 games in the first round, but also turned on the Heat during the season with effusive admiration in March for Tampa Bay Lightning bench boss John Cooper, who coached McDavid at the Four Nations face-off in Olympic Games in Milan.
Cooper finally, McDavid finally saw what a real coach does.
It just kind of seems like the stars are aligning, though, doesn't it?
I mean, just depends on what you want to give up for him.
I think there might be a
What's he
deal
going to do?
What's
he going to do? Hold out until he gets traded? He's not going to do that. Like, I'm not playing here. Y'all trade me.
No.
I mean, you take away all of their leverage if that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think. I just don't think JBB can sit on 4 first-round losses. And I know the context of all of them. I get that. We talk about it all the time. We do. And that's absolutely 100% valid. This is not some team that's barely making the playoffs and then, getting swept in the first round. This is totally not what this is. The Lightning are very close to making a deep run, and I get it. But I think I also get that if you think you can just stand pat with this group, I don't agree with that. I think there has to be a significant injection. Now, however you want to define that, but I think there's, like I said, I think they could use some stronger leadership in the room. I mean, your captain didn't even play hardly at all this year, and when he played, he was really bad. And obviously there's issues going on there that hopefully will get dealt with, but could be ongoing. We don't know. Until we see him come back playing at the elite level that is Victor Hedman, we don't know. So, yeah, I think there's some significant change that needs to be made. I'm not talking about, firing the coach or firing the GM or firing all the players. I'm not talking about an overhaul. I'm talking about you bringing a significant piece. And I think that would qualify.
Yeah.
That would certainly. And he wants to play for John Cooper, and he clearly doesn't want to play there anymore. And you don't want to let him out for nothing. I mean, it would seem there's probably a deal to be made. And I'm not picking names or anybody else that needs to be out there, but I mean, it's obvious who would be at the top of that list. Yeah.
Probably not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting schedule leaks. Philadelphia at Dallas. Okay. All right.
What I'm seeing here in Dallas is Philly will be their Thanksgiving Day opponent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Joseph Melee asks, is this all this Morgan Orlando talk just fake news, or do you think it's real and Tampa's deal fading? Are you nervous at all, JP, or still very confident? Still very confident. Still very confident. There's a lot of noise out there, and I think that noise is out there for a reason. You guys can figure that out. Yeah. As I said to the city commission, is that what you want your legacy to be? You want your vote to send the Rays to Orlando?
Gross.
And let them reap all the benefits? Yeah. Political career over. Absolutely over. Without question. All right. We are waiting. Dominic Casciato. I think I got that right. Casciato, who is the head coach of your Tampa Bay Rowdies, who have started off fantastically well. They are their best start since 2020 there. I don't think they've lost. 5 wins and a draw. So they are kicking ass, and we'll talk to him in just a second. Also, Baby Rack says, haven't been keeping up with the news. Are the county and city voting on the 20th and 21st? The MOU is still not done, and we are here on the 14th. As Mr. Clendenin said, it's 99% done, but there still needs to be a few things that are cleaned up, and I think that we are still open for a vote on the 20th and 21st. Now, I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I think that's still a possibility. And I think it's a strong possibility because that really needs to be solidified, at least a memo of understanding, even if it's non-binding, for the state to get that funding for HC. So that's how that's going to go. Timmy, you have a bracket up here. I see waiting in the wings. What is that?
Well, I thought at some point we were going to NHL.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Yeah.
See what our thoughts would be on the rest of the NHL playoffs here is.
All right, so give us a catch up here.
Yeah, so of course your second round, you've got 2 winners so far in the second round. One in the East, the Hurricanes sweeping the Flyers, and it's always a good day when any team from Philadelphia gets swept.
Yes,
even better when they don't make the playoffs. But if you're going to get swept, that's a good one.
That's fun.
And then over in the West, the Avalanche, as I mentioned early in the show, knocked off the Wild in 5. In that incredible come-from-behind win last night. And then you've got the Golden Knights up 3 games or down. Wait, where are this? Or never mind. I'm trying to figure. They don't have the Vegas
series.
leads. Yeah, Vegas leads the Ducks. Should never be the name of a hockey team in the NHL. 3 games to 2 over in the West. And then the Canadiens de Montreal and the Buffalo Sabres are tied 2 games apiece. So
great series. Series.
That is a good series. We've got some good series over in the East. I think far better than what we're showing in the West.
Lightning should have beaten the Canadiens. Les Habitants, but full credit to Montreal. They did not. They played harder in the first 5 games than the Lightning did, and they won. They win the series, getting 9 shots in Game 7 up for 2 bad bounces. That's the facts, but that's what happens when you don't start off playing with that type of intensity in Game 6 and Game 7 and Game 1. So the Canadians moved on. Great, and obviously I think the Lightning could have beaten the Sabres as well. It's just a really huge lost opportunity this season. And it took one of your best scorers, Braden Point, to be injured and have a horrible season, right? By his standards. Another, I want to say disappearing act from Cooch, but no points in the last 3 games. Just has the numbers have not been there in quite some time. And it's not like they're okay numbers. Like you need that guy to be your best player, and he has not been. That's just not debatable, really. And so you're out, and that's why this is the toughest trophy to win. So right now it's really, really hard to not say there's going to be a Hurricanes Avalanche final.
Well, and look at these two. Look at the two teams in the postseason. The Hurricanes haven't lost a game yet. They've swept both their round series wins.
They're a really
the
good
Avalanche
hockey team.
Avalanche have lost one game. They swept the Kings in the first round, and you lose one to the Wild in the second round. So that certainly seems to be what we're looking at in the finals. But man, don't count out the Golden Knights. As much as I hate them, they always play hard. It doesn't matter who their coach is, apparently.
Torts has got them rolling. They've got a lot of talent on that team, obviously. Yeah.
And I don't know, honestly, I don't know that the Canadiens have anything for the Hurricanes if they make it to the conference finals. I think the Sabres are a better matchup against the Hurricanes. I'd kind of like to see, if it comes down to that, the Hurricanes and Sabres. Not that I think the Sabres would win. I think they would give them a little bit more of a series, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I wanted to comment on this real quick. The Times did a story on Junior Caminero and his defense at third base. He had the big error the other night, which we recovered from and went back and won the game. And I just remind everybody, he's only 22. He's working his ass off. He set a goal to win a Gold Glove this year, and obviously that's not going to happen. But I don't, in years future, I think he's going to get better and better and better. Most guys don't make it to the big leagues till they're 25 or 24, 25 anyway. So he's got a couple of years to kind of shore that up. He's got all the ability in the world. He's got really good hands. He just needs to be consistent, better decision-making. A lot of his errors have been of the mental kind, decision-making. So obviously he'll get better on that as he gets more experience. But he's a superstar. He's a complete superstar. You talk of him, being a DH. I don't even go there yet. So I don't think that's something we need to worry about.
Nope.
All right, let's talk a little football, soccer right here. As Dom Casciato joins us, the manager of your Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are off to their best start since 2020, have not been beaten this year. Dominic, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, doing well, JP. How are you, buddy?
Fantastic. Tell me what's been the secret so far this year. You turned over almost the entire roster in the offseason. You came on last year midseason, made us a little better, didn't make the playoffs, but now you are freaking rolling. So tell me what's the difference been?
Yeah, I think just bringing in one, good players, and then two, working hard every day, being very committed to our way of doing things. And I think now the community as a team they can be proud of again, which is what we wanted to do when we came in. So far it's been a really good start. I think we're only going to get better, and this team is in its infancy, right, in terms of their journey together and our journey together. And I think we're really going to take off from here. So I'm really excited to see what's to come from these guys. Tell me about some of the new players you brought in. Yeah, we've got so many players. I think it's 21 new players, Jake, right? It's 21. Wow. So for me to be here, talking about all of them would take all day. Is there anyone in particular that's caught your eye, JP, or anyone that you want to know about? Just give us your top players, guys that we'll be hearing about. Yeah, I think if you look at some of our top contributors so far, a guy like Marco Micheletto, who joined us from Colorado Switchbacks. Marco's won everywhere he's been in the USL. Before that, is with Columbus Crew in MLS Next Pro. He won there. He won with New Mexico United. He's a very creative player, creates a lot of chances, scores goals, very good set-piece delivery. Pedro Dolivella, somebody that I had before one of my previous clubs. Pedro was at North Carolina last year for his first season in the USL Championship and has really taken the league by storm. So many players, JP, I could be here for your whole show talking about these guys. Yeah. So I don't want to big anyone up too much. It's been a while since I've been to a game. That's my bad. I got to get over there, but it is one of the great places to play in the USL. I mean, the stadium is fantastic right there on the water. The Rowdies fans are amazing. It's such a great vibe over there. What has been you've coached all over the world. Give me your take on when you came here and you got the vibe of what's going on here in Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg specifically. Yeah, it's a special place. Ao Lang is an unbelievable stadium. The setting that we have, it feels like you're in Monaco or Monte Carlo or somewhere, right? Yeah. I think it's one of the best places, not just in the US, but in the world to play your football. Wow. And I really love playing here. And for such a beautiful setting, we need to produce a team that's fitting in that setting. And I think we're getting there. So, no, for us being here, being home here, entertaining our fans and the fans create such a great atmosphere. If anyone hasn't been out to a game, I'd encourage you to do so as soon as possible, because pretty soon when people catch on about what this team's doing this year, the stadium's going to be sold out. So get in while you can.
So you guys have conceded the fewest goals in the league, just 5 in 8 matches. Last year was not the case. So what have you done to bring the defense a little bit better?
I think it's just hard work. I think it's just hard work, JP. You know, obviously we brought in a lot of new players. I think we've got some of the best defenders in the league. You know, guys like Brian Schaefer's come in, who actually went to college here locally at USF. He was with FC Cincinnati in MLS. Came down to us. Has been fantastic since he got here. Someone like Nate Dos Santos has really been a standout in this league for a number of years now for Pittsburgh and for Charleston Battery. Before that, won a national title at Marshall University. So these guys have really been the bedrock of our centre-back pairing so far this season, with a couple of guys being out of injuries. Jamali White and Austin Pack, really, really strong goalkeeping department that we've got this year. Those guys have been pushing each other every day. We could start either one of them on any given day, and we know they're both going to do great. So we've just got good players there that really buy into our kind of idea of one, playing attractive soccer, entertaining the fans, but then two, being really, really tough to beat and resilient as this community is.
Dom Casciato joining us here. He won 2 championships at Omaha in the USL League One. So compare Omaha and St. Petersburg.
I'm not sure. The weather's certainly a lot different, JP. No, Omaha was great to us. Listen, we loved Omaha. We got a lot of good friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we love it here. We live in Tampa. We live in West Chase. And we really love
my old hood. Yeah.
Yeah, where did you live?
Right there near the village there, near West Park Village.
Yeah, we're there. We're in the village.
Old Brompton Drive. It's where my kids grew up. It's a really great place for kids to grow up. You got kids?
I do, yeah. I got one little guy, Mario. Yeah, he's 2 years old. Yeah. Yeah,
awesome place. And you guys, you train not far from there, right? Right there, off the Veterans, right?
Yeah, we're off Waters Avenue, so we're 10, 15 minutes from the house. It's a pretty easy commute for me when we're over there.
So tell me about your new owners. You got here about the time the new owners, obviously they own the Rays, they own the Rowdies. How has their support been for you guys?
It's been amazing. Honestly, it's been amazing. Obviously, Patrick leading the charge, but Ken kind of managing day-to-day operations for him on the Rays side and the Rowdy side. They've been really supportive of us. They've kind of encouraged us. They've pushed us at the right times. And I just think they want to produce a team that this community can be really proud of, right? Which is what we want. So I think we're definitely aligned in terms of that. And then in terms of values and treating people the right way and making sure the fans have a great experience, the fans have a team and a club that they can feel connected to is at the forefront of both of our minds. So there's a lot of synergy there, and I'm really excited to continue to work with those guys.
If I may, Dominic, tap into your soccer knowledge here as the World Cup comes to North America here. You've coached in Spain. You grew up in London. What are your thoughts and plans maybe to attend World Cup games or maybe coach? I don't know what you're doing this summer, but what are your thoughts with the World Cup coming?
Yeah, I won't be coaching any World Cup games. I think there's a bunch of World Cup games going on while the World Cup is going on. So we'll be having our regular games and the Cup games and stuff. But we'll try and watch as much of it as we can on the TV. I know there's a couple of locations locally or not too far away here in Florida that we can get to watch some games. So I might try and get some tickets if we have some time off. But my focus, it's a pretty boring answer, JP, but my focus on making sure the Rowdies are
I know you are. I know you're zeroed in. But do you have a favorite? Is England your side? What's your side?
Yeah, so my dad is Italian, my mum's English, so I like Italy and England. Italy obviously not here this year, right? Again, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. A World Cup without Italy doesn't quite feel right to me. But
no,
look, I think England have a really strong side this year. I think France, if you look at some of the attacking players France have at their disposal, they're going to be tough to stop. Argentina coming into it as the holders are always going to be dangerous. Brazil, the usual suspects. But yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd probably say France.
What's your view of the U.S. national team and all the change that they've been going through in terms of coaching and trying to get it right? And the World Cup is here now. I mean, they drew a nice group. That's nice. But what are your thoughts on their possible success?
No, look, I think they've got good players now. They've got good players playing in some of the top teams around the world. I think they've got an outstanding coach in Mauricio Pochettino. And I think if anybody's going to lead them to success, it's someone like Mauricio. So I'm hoping they can have success. I'd love to see him, go well and go far in the tournament this year, especially on home soil. And I think that can really help kick the game on in this country even more. If you look at the last time the US hosted a World Cup back in '94. That was actually that was my first World Cup that I remember as a kid. And that helped me fall in love with a game, and I'm sure it can do the same for so many American kids watching it this summer for the first time.
Yeah, it's a great point. It does kind of take center stage, and I think a lot of folks in America would love to jump in more, but it takes success by the home team, right? And that will really get it going, and it'll affect the Rowdies as well, right? When soccer's a big thing, I think people look, oh, well, what do we got here locally? And if they go out and sample Rowdy soccer and go to a game, they'll be back, I would think, right?
100%. I mean, the way we're playing this year in terms of a very attacking football on the front foot, I think we're playing the type of football that resonates with this community. And I think once more people tap into what's going on with soccer globally by having the World Cup here, I think they'll want to follow their local team. So we're looking forward to that as well.
All right, what's your next home match? Give me a little preview.
Yeah, we play next Saturday. We play Phoenix Rising here at home at 7:30 at Al Lang Stadium. A young, exciting team, Phoenix. They want to play attacking football too, so we'll try and get the better of them and look forward to hosting it.
Well, you got a great thing going on there, Dominic. We really appreciate you taking some time. Come back often. It's been my fault that I haven't got you guys on here before. We got a lot of stuff going on here with the Rays Stadium, everything. Your bosses are working hard to secure that stadium over here, but the Rowdies are an absolute treasure here in Tampa Bay, and their games are as fun as any sporting event you'll go to. So I highly recommend it to all our listeners, and we appreciate you jumping on the show. Continued success.
Top man. Thanks, JP. See you, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, guys, if you're into soccer, and we all will be this summer with World Cup, you want a little taste of it locally, it's super fun. It is really fun because it really gets the crowd into it. I know people find soccer sometimes boring. I don't, especially if you go to a live game, and the whole experience of going to the Rowdies down there, Vinoy Park, the whole downtown St. Petersburg is just fantastic. The stadium overlooking the marina and the sailboats, it's breathtaking, and it's good soccer. It's really, really good soccer. So highly recommend it.
You want my hot soccer take of the day, JP?
Probably not, but go ahead.
So, of course, as you guys just discussed, Italy has now failed to qualify again for the World Cup. They missed 2018, 2022, and now 2026. They're a four-time previous world champion in the sport. However, I believe with their lackluster performances over the last decade or so, I believe it's time to ban Italy permanently from any future World Cup consideration tournaments.
I knew that was where it was going.
You know what? When you suck that bad for that long, you probably should never be allowed to be back in it.
That's the most Italy thing ever, though.
And
we're either going to win the damn thing, or we're not even going to qualify.
We should probably take your status as a country away too.
Of course, why not? Why not?
You're not allowed to be a country anymore.
I want to say a hello to Carlo Tamburello. If I'm saying that, Tamburello. Love the show, JP. He says, listen as much as I can from London.
Good day, mate.
Tampa Bay sports fan family in Florida. Awesome. Good day, mate. I think that's Australian.
It's the same thing.
Hello, bloke.
I don't think you're supposed to call them blokes. That's not a good term, I don't think.
No, it is. It's a no.
Bloke?
I disagree. No, hello, blokes.
Is bloke a good term?
Is it pejorative in the
English
lexicon? I don't think so. The blokes over there in Tottenham. Yeah.
I guess it's fine. It says it's widely used, generally positive or neutral term in British, Irish, Australian, New Zealand, and South African English.
Yeah.
It means dude. It's basically the same thing as dude.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say dude?
Yeah. And he said I did his name right too. That's another
Bloke.
Italian. We left one Italian English guy and went to another. Yeah.
I think bloke just sounds bad. I don't like that word.
I'm like, the coach's name is Dom Casciato, and he's from London, and he's got a thick British accent. I'm confused. But he's really turned that team out. He's a really good coach. I mean, you look at his bio, and he's kind of like Cooper in soccer. He's everywhere he's gone, he's won.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job with the Rowdies. So
that was a fun conversation.
Let's go support him. And I have to apologize. I just do not know a lot about this Rowdies team. I've been spending my time in other areas, but I do really want to get out there. And our friend Jeff Attanella, who's was the great goalie at USF, he's in their Hall of Fame, played in the MLS for many years. Now here locally doing business, helped us out with this interview, and he'll be hopefully helping us out through the World Cup as well. So yeah, it's time to put the Rowdies on the front page. And I don't want to ask this question, but is there a chance that we talk about the Rowdies who are owned by the Rays? If they build this new stadium, will they play there? Could they be elevated to MLS? I don't think MLS wants a team in Orlando and Tampa. Obviously what Atlanta did was, and actually I was in Atlanta when they announced that franchise. I still have my Atlanta FC scarf I got from the opening press conference up there. And they literally pack Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like, it's unbelievable. Really? Won a championship too. 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, Arthur Blank has done an incredible job. And he had that, remember at that press conference, because we were all like, what is he doing, like, with this soccer team? And he's basically, well, my wife or my fiance loves soccer and the kids love soccer, so I bought her a soccer team.
So I bought a team.
That's basically the way it came down. And then they go and fill the house more. They sell more tickets than the Falcons. His Falcons fill the freaking stadium and win a championship. And you're like, good move, Mom. That's strong.
That sounds like the Hunt family.
Did you get your wife for Mother's Day? Oh, an MLS team.
A soccer team.
And I'm making tens of millions of dollars on it. Like, just like, oh, dude.
Now, what he should have done is buy the team and make her the president and CEO and general manager. See, that would have been the real gift. That went up.
It's like, he certainly hired all the right people for that to win the championship, but has not been able to find such luck in, Arthur Blank, though, for those who don't know, and I worked for him for a couple of years and was extremely nice to me, and this is one of the best humans you'll ever meet. So philanthropic. I mean, what he does in Atlanta, very Vinnick-esque. The two of the great men in sports that I've been blessed to work for, Arthur Blank and obviously Jeff Vinnick, two of a kind. I mean, obviously Jeff built Water Street, and what Arthur Blank's been able to do in Atlanta, and his philanthropic givings there are just off the charts. And he's the only owner in sports that refuses to overcharge and gouge fans for concessions. Still, I think you get a $5 beer there. Chick-fil-A's prices are the same in the stadium as they are anywhere else. As all the vendors have to do that. So if he can do it, why can't everybody else?
Everybody could.
Yeah.
By the way, if for no other reason, go out to support the Rowdies and visit the historic Al Lang Stadium.
Yeah.
Talk about some baseball history. There's some baseball history at the now soccer stadium, but still kind of looks like a baseball stadium a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But, man, there's some history there for sure. I mean, the Rays had their spring training games there, right? Very early on.
Yep. Well, they played spring training there, which people thought was kind of weird because you kind of need that's where you play your home games, but obviously not the same stadium. But, and then they went to Port Charlotte, which is just –
that's where the Rangers used to be too.
Awful. It's awful. Yeah. One of the worst places in Florida. And the stadium is, it's not like downtown on the water or something. It's like in the middle, right off of 275 in the middle of a swamp. And it's just not very inspiring at all. Nobody cares to go. They could do so much better. They were trying to build something actually in Pasco County, and DeSantis put the kibosh on that whole deal. But that was the last ownership group. This is different. Alex Nunn, by the way, says, I love Caminero, but don't be cocky. Don't be doing the extras, especially when you are so young. I don't know, man. You got to let him be himself, Alex. Some of the old heads might not like it. I'm not, the home run trot, it's a little much for me, but I'd much rather have him be comfortable in himself and what he does and enjoy it and be exuberant than criticize him about it. And I'm fine with it. It's fine. Just keep hitting home runs, bro. Do whatever you want to do.
Let the game come to him. Yep.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us here at the JP Peterson Show. IndyCarTim, thank you very much for your help. Thank you guys for jumping in with all your great comments as well. Thank you to Dom Casciato, Rowdies manager. Go check them out. The next home game is Saturday against Phoenix Rising. It'll be a great time. Weather will be great still at night down there in the St. Pete waterfront. Absolutely fantastic way to spend your Saturday night. Highly, highly recommended. So when tickets are cheap, it's wonderful. Go check out the Rowdies. Have a great day, everybody. Ray's off today. They'll be back at it tomorrow as the Marlins come to town. Oh, the rivalry. I can't wait. We'll talk about it tomorrow.